What's up, guys? Welcome to another comic video. Thank you guys for joining me. I've got another 25 book CGC unboxing to do. It was a Prescreen 9/8 box submission, and we're gonna see what we did, how we did. I actually already know. I'm not gonna pretend to act surprised when I open it up. But if you guys can guess, the first person to guess in the chat what number of the 25 books came back 9/8, I'll give you a free book. If you come to one of my auctions or you have a lot with me already. So the next Comic auction will be this evening on Instagram at 8 p.m. Eastern until late at night. Some of these books in this submission will be available at the live auction. So if any of these catch your eye, there's a good chance you might be able to grab it at the auction tonight. I'm not necessarily going to sell them all, but it would actually be kind of hard to sell this amount of books in one auction. Slabs anyway. But maybe for a little warm up, as we wait for people to come into the room, I've got a couple of other things to open for today's mail call. So why don't we do a little appetizer before we get into the entree. All right, so this one is from Lance in Arizona. This is a seller I think I've used before. We're gonna see what we got from Lance in Arizona. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Hope you guys got what you wanted for New Comic Book Day yesterday. If you didn't, there's a good chance I'll have it at my auction tonight. That stack right there of packages is the last of the stuff going out from last week and people who had books holding and stuff like that. Most of everybody's stuff went out last night. All right. See what we got here. Looks like a couple of books here, maybe 3 books. Is this a Facebook seller? I can't remember. Or maybe he's an Instagram seller. I feel like Lance is an Instagram guy. I forget. I don't know his real name or something like that. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, dope. Okay, so this is I believe what's the name? Post-war. I think this is Post-war Comics. And I got a couple of books from Post-war. I have, it looks like I got a book from him maybe a long time ago, and then I claimed this Spider-Gwen Edge of Spider-Verse 2 third print from him. So I'm looking forward to checking condition on that. I used to have a few of these in the PC. I got these like really cheap back in the day for like 15 bucks each. Now, of course, they're more like 75 to 100. Definitely along with the Ultimate Fallout second print, definitely one of the best kind of modern books to spec on, just for obvious reasons. Just like, you know, lower print count, cool, different color, different cover, character design for Spider-Gwen in her first appearance. Kind of a no-brainer. It's not like the most I don't like the color scheme that much for it. It's not like the most eye-appealing cover in the world. Like the green is kind of unappealing to me. But hey, it's still a first appearance of Gwen Stacy in the third printing. Spider-Gwen, that is, not Gwen Stacy, of course. All right, then I got Brave and the Bold number 94. I don't remember buying that. Maybe it was a throw-in, maybe free. I don't remember. I don't know. And then this one, Jungle Action 8, is a cool Black Panther origin key, and just a really cool book to have. I've been sort of stockpiling more Jungle Action stuff. I've got a couple of copies of Jungle Action 6 there. There's one copy of Jungle Action 6. I've got another one somewhere else in the bins for the first Killmonger. And then I bought like a big lot of Jungle Action books and Black Panther keys as well. All right, so this is an interesting package. I always like to critique notable shipping choices when I come across them. Okay, this seller. Okay, here's the thing, right? Sometimes in order to get a good deal, say on eBay or something, you have to take a chance on an inexperienced seller. Okay, you got to roll the dice. So my favorite example of this was when I bought a New Mutants 98 off eBay from a guy who had his original copy that he got off the shelf framed in a picture frame and refused to take it out of the frame to take pictures of it. So I took a gamble on that very inexperienced seller and bought it for $200, and the book became a 9.8 book. Okay, it got pressed and slabbed in a 9.8, and I got it for $200. That's an example of an eccentric seller who maybe doesn't do it a lot, doesn't necessarily know what they're doing, and sometimes we have to take the chance on those kinds of people. This is a very similar situation, as a matter of fact. I feel like you can find these opportunities, apparently, with people with like modern grails, like modern major key books. Maybe they got it when they were a kid and they've just had it for, you know what I mean? Like they don't necessarily know what's going on, but they have a cool book that's, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just that I happen to know what this book is, and it's very similar to the New Mutants 98. So it makes me think of that. He sent it in a mailing box, a single book in a very large mailing box with no additional protection inside and a floppy bubble mailer. So I don't have high hopes for the grade of this book maintaining in the shipment. And I spent some money on this book, so I will be disappointed if it didn't. We don't have a miracle here. Let's see how much protection was in this package. We're just doing a warm up to the CGC unboxing, guys. Feel free to say hello in the chat, guys. Oh, now I'm seeing the chat. That's a newbie mistake on my part. I did not see you guys in the room. What's up, Alan? What's up, Jay? How's it going? Oh, did Post-War have a kid just recently? What's up, Dwayne? Good to see you guys. I was just like feeling really lonely in here. I know there's only three of you in the room right now, but I was feeling super lonely being on the wrong screen and not noticing that you guys were already here. Makes all the difference to see you guys in the chat. Thank you very much. So yeah, at least it wasn't only the bubble mailer, it's true, but this thing was flopping around in that box. Coming from Arizona. Look, guys, not only no cardboard, no backing board. No backing board, no cardboard, no bullshit. What book do you guys think this is? People in the chat, what book do you think this is? It was similar to the 98. Spent a bit of money on it. Inexperienced seller. This guy needs to be given a strict talking to. This guy does. This might be a partial refund situation. You guys are witnesses. Not a Teen Titans. Okay, I'm getting a sneak peek. Guys, you know, This thing held up pretty well. It's a miracle. I don't see... I would think that the spine would have flopped over on itself a bunch. Nope, we don't have a Teen Titans. We have a New Mutants 87. Super high grade copy in the listing, and it was going to be an auction, and I made a stab at it with an offer, and he accepted right away. So that's what happened with this book, New Mutants 87, first cable. A lot of my childhood nostalgia for this book has been reawakened recently as I hear people talk about like how this was on the Wizard Top 10 every week, and it just reminds me how wanted this book was when I was a kid, you know. And Hulk 181 onboarded. That would be a little more upsetting. No, this one was, you know, I spent $100 on this, shot in the dark. You know, maybe it'll be a 9.6, 9.8. And to be honest, you guys, I mean, I've got to take it out of the bag. It's got these little micro ticks in the spine that who knows if they would have been there if it had been mailed properly. It's just a damn shame. It's a damn shame. I'll probably have a talking to with this person. I don't know if you can see there, just like they don't break a lot of color, but they're like right on the edge of the spine. I think I might still grade it. We'll see. We'll take it out of the bag and give it some time, give it some love. All right, so that's all I got for the mail call. Although yesterday I did receive some cool books. Oh, yesterday I received a Ms. Marvel #1. I think that's the first printing. Looking to be a 9.8 candidate, so I think I'm going to grade that one. Yeah, that's it. Let's get into the CGC unboxing, guys, because I got to go to the post office. I got to go meet my buddy for some books he wants to sell for tonight. We're going to open this box, guys. Smedgen, what's up, man? How's it going, Santiago? Mello, that's totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate, but no, just kidding. I'm not going to do it. So let's do it, guys. Here's the box of CGC. Now, let me tell you guys about the submission. It was my first submission having started pressing my own books. Okay, so this was a few months ago. I sent it in. Alan guesses 21 are 9/8. That's a pretty good guess, Alan. That's a pretty good guess. I'll give you a little more context, and then I'll let people guess again. You can let me know, Alan, if you want to keep or change your answer. Okay. So this is the first submission after I started pressing my own books. The previous submission, where I basically wasn't pressing books yet, and I was trying to save time and money by selecting 25 natural 9/8. I'm going to try to make this phrase catch on. KK is here. What's up, Kenny? I feel like I know like 3 Kennys in the comic community. So the first pre-screen submission I did myself was all just natural 9/8 selections. You know, no press, no nothing. And based on that selection, I got 24 out of 25 back 9/8. Okay. So I'm pretty proud of that from just a standpoint of like my eye being able to recognize a 9/8 candidate. And also to prove that you can get 9/8 without pressing. Just depends on the book, depends on the copy, right? So I got your payment, KK. Thank you very much. So this one was not natural 9/8. This is the first batch that I put together myself from my own pressing, sort of a practice run. All right. So do you guys want to guess how many books out of 25? You 6 in the room. If put your guess in about how many of the 25 are 9/8. I already know the answer. It's pretty heavy. I'm gonna start opening it. DLE says 20. And Alan, you want to keep your answer? Keep your answer 21. The winner will get a free book tonight. Jay, I like that confidence. Jay says 25. DLE changes his answer to 24. Dwayne is getting a little more. Dwayne is increasing in confidence. I appreciate the confidence, you guys. All right, so I've got to get better at letting myself stay in suspense with these books. It's really hard when you have your own submission to stay in suspense about what the result is going to be, because you've been waiting for months, and then finally the status changes, and you just have to click it, and then you see all of the results, and it's like, oh, I want to watch it right now. When I said box is heavy, right? That is a little more info. So Alan's not changing his answer, and let's my history of great. Oh, appreciate that, my man. Here are raw books. So I did not get a perfect submission. They send you back raw books inside. There you go, right there. So I did not get 25. So Alan's sticking to 21. I like it. Does he have an inside? Does he have an inside man? I feel like he got insider information or something. Did I already disclose this somewhere? Alan won, you guys. Congratulations, Alan. Let me show you guys the 4 books that did not meet pre-screen criteria. 4 books that didn't make it. One of them is I'm especially disappointed about because KK. You want me to show you the cats, or you want me to hurry up? KK's always got something something to complain about. Okay, so this one I'm particularly sad that didn't get a 9.8 because it's finally starting to heat up. New Agents of Atlas #1. Luckily, I have 2 copies of this in the 1 in 25 in 9.8 that I invested in. So I'm good. I'm good on this book, but starting to heat up even more, and would have been nice timing to have this back in a 9.8. But sadly, it is raw. It is raw. We'll look over the defect on that another time. Here is a static #1 newsstand. Did not come back 9.8. That was a pressing challenge. I remember that I was sort of like, because there's one thing about identifying a book that has 9.8 potential that that's worthy of a press, worth spending your time on pressing, and it's another thing to actually get it to that potential, or you know what I mean. There's 2 different phases there that you've got to get practice at. So this one, Dr. Fate #1, I thought that would be a cool 9.8 and not really valuable otherwise. So that's why I put it in the pre-screen batch. Kind of a spec book for the Black Adam movie. There's a character in here, the first Khalid Nassour, I think. This particular manifestation of Dr. Fate is speculated to appear in the upcoming Black Adam movie. So I thought I'd give it a shot. And a Spider-Man 13. So 3 of these rejects are older books. I think 90s books all. Or maybe this one's more like 2000s, the Dr. Fate. I think this is 2008, if I remember correctly. So they're all a little bit older. So that tells you something about, the track record so far, that it's a little bit harder naturally to press books into a 9.8 condition when they've seen a few more years. That's well it should be. So let's look at what I did get back 9.8. And let me make a note right now that Alan is going to get a freebie for his correct guess. He was right on the money. He was the first guess for 21 books, and he stuck with it. Alan, I'm going to call it trivia. And I'm going to put it near my free bin to remind myself. Give him a freebie. Okay. You guys ready for this? Let me check the chat. Robert De Niro did not tell you. Nice. So when they come back raw, does it mean they're ineligible? So Alan, good question. That is actually a perfect question to talk about when we're talking about a pre-screen submission. So that's what That's what you call it when you send in 25 books with a certain criteria of grade to CGC or CBCS. CGC requires the 25 book total. CBCS can pre-screen books for you at any amount, any grade. They can sort of mix and match. They're a lot more flexible about it. CGC has these rules that you have to sort of meet the 25 book limit or minimum to qualify for a pre-screen process. And what that means is they grade the book theoretically without knowing what grade you're going for. The graders are not supposed to know that it's a pre-screen book while they grade it, and they sort of blindly, so to speak, give it its grade. And if it is assigned a grade lower than 9.8, they don't encapsulate the book. So I, as a submitter, save some money on books that I did not want to be encapsulated lower than a 9.8. So whereas the encapsulation after my discount would be $18 per book, they only charge $5 per book as a reject. So I'm saving $13 a book, and I get the book back raw. So now I can choose to sell it raw, or check out what the defect was and try to fix it, or just straight up resubmit it. I know Very Gary does a lot of Very Gary on YouTube. Shout out to Very Gary. He does a lot of pre-screen YouTube submission, pre-screen CGC submissions, and he's collecting his rejects over the months, and making a pure reject submission and seeing what he can do with it. So, just because it doesn't get a 9.8 one time doesn't mean it might not get one the next time. It might just be the grader had a bad day or whatever. If it's on the edge, it can always go one way or the other, right? Between a 9.6 and a 9.8. Not always, but in most cases. KK says it means I did a bad pressing job. This is possibly true. These were some of my first books pressed. This was a practice run for my own books. But hey, I got 21 out of 25 ain't bad. You got to give me that, KK. All right, here they are. Let's just go. I'm not going to do the whole revealing the grade thing because that would be silly. You all know what it's going to be. So the cat stepped on the book, exactly. All right, so here is the first one. We have a 3 Jokers. I didn't send many of these to be graded, to be honest. I'm going to take them out of the wrapping as I go, just so you can see it a little better. 3 Jokers number 1, the Red Hood cover in a 9.8. I ordered so many of these when they came out. I literally, I knew they were giving out some 9.9s, and I cherry picked like the best condition out of like, I don't know how many I got, like 30 maybe. So this is just one of those that I didn't feel like, grading a bunch of these. I just felt like taking just the best 2 and seeing if I could get a 9.8, a 9.9 rather. And spoiler alert, no 9.9s, no 9.9, 9 times. So no dice there, but at least it's a 9.8. Got a Batman 92 1 in 25 Jimenez punchline cover in a 9.8. Very nice. Very nice. I was afraid of this one. This is an example of why you pre-screen, because I know the lighting sucks. It's in the video quality is like SD right now, but see that little white speck on the book? That's an example of something that's great for a pre-screen, because I don't know how they're going to grade it, whether they're going to permit it. And they permitted it. It got a 9.8. So I don't really want this book in a 9.6. I want it in the 9.8. Yeah, I think they should have given the 3 Jokers a 9.9 too, but what are you going to do? Okay. All right. I've graded this before. All 3 copies of this that I've sent in have all gotten 9.8. 7 Secrets number 1, the Akira homage cover. So I had 1 sent in from a previous submission. I sold it, and in this order, I got 2 more back in the 9.8. I might sell 1 and hold 1 in case that series goes nuts. There's the other one, great cover, Franny cover. You take a sip of coffee. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. We got a Department of Truth, Declan Shalvey, 1 in 10 in the 9/8. Very nice. I still have my 1 in 100 9/8. I'm itchy to. I don't know. I'm tortured about whether to sell it or hold it at this point. Batman 102 design variant, the Ghostmaker cover. Beautiful book. I love that color. This sort of aqua blue cover really does it for me. Okay, this one is pretty cool, guys. This one's pretty cool. I forget who it was. It might have been Burke City Comics. I believe Burke City, or Burke Family Comics, rather. Burke Family. Doomsday Clock is trash. Why are you saying that? That's totally irrelevant. I think he said that in the last video. This is Dead End Kids, The Suburban Job #1. 9/8. This is a Frank Gogol book that just came out, and I'm psyched to have this back now because this was a sort of an advanced variant. And this is an advanced variant. I believe there are only 75 copies of this printed. So, yeah. And Gogol said that in the interview with Burke Family, nice. Alexander's making a list of people who hate Doomsday Clock so they can get it retconned. I'm going to show that. It's so funny. Well, good luck to you, my friend. Good luck. Never read it. Don't have a horse in the race. So he said that this cover, this sort of a minimal trade dress. Yeah, 75 copies of this. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe to be true. It's a Source Point book. And this was the announcement variant cover. This is back when he announced the series. He put out this really limited book. So I looked at it. I got it. I bought it for, I don't know what it costs, like $30 or something. And he's like, I know those resellers out there are gonna love me, and that's why I put these dollars on the cover, because this thing is gonna be worth money. So I'm sort of excited to see what it can get as a crazy investment book. So we'll see. It's a cool book. I haven't checked prices on it or nothing, but I'm excited that came back in 9/8. It looked. I don't think I had to press that one. Some of these are or were natural 9/8s as well. Here's a Star Wars Adventures #1, the 1 in 10. Just like that cover, and it was a 9/8 candidate. Incentive ratio. Figured why not. I have a video coming out, you guys, that discusses what books to submit to CGC and how to decide about that. So that video is going to drop sometime this weekend, I think. I got to edit it together, but it's coming together. It's coming together. All right, this is a book that obviously has cooled down, but I still thought it would be worth getting in a 9/8. It's the second print Venom 25, which is the first cameo codex and the first codex cover appearance. So obviously codex spec has cooled down as we've gotten different story reveals and so forth, but it's still a cool second print cover that I really like. All right. Okay, I think I did a couple copies of this. Many of these will be for sale, Santiago. Many of them will be for sale possibly this evening at the Instagram comic auction, 8 p.m. Eastern time on February 11th. So this is Miles Morales 18, the Raza baby variant. That is Billy Morales on the cover, and she's holding that stuffed animal, right? That is, I believe, the stuffed animal that's supposed to be linked to Spider-Zero. So I'm really waiting for that spec to pan out. But just a cool cover, and it's the first. It's weird. They just give a legacy number. There's no key written on the book, but But this should be the first appearance of Miles Morales' clone, which I think is also coming up. This is Miles 18. It's the B cover for Miles 18. Not an incentive ratio, just a really cool Raza cover and minor key, first Miles clone. Okay, we're about halfway through the submission, guys. How long ago did I send it in? I don't know. It was probably about 2.5 months or so. Here's the second copy of the Raza. Oh man, this is a PC book. Yes, Mega Man Fully Charged, the 1 in 25. Just a classic vintage Mega Man cover. And that one is not for sale. Ooh, I love this one. This one I might hold for a while. I think I'm grading other copies, so maybe when I get multiples, I'll sell. But this is a Ms. Marvel 31, the Stephanie Hans variant. I don't remember if this is a ratio or just a B cover, but it is a really nice, iconic Hans cover for Ms. Marvel that I think will definitely continue to be wanted in the future. It's a nice one. Okay, we got a Kanto 2 Hollow Men #1. This is the stained glass error edition. So this is the 1 in 25, and CGC is recognizing the error. Retailer incentive B, error edition, and it tells you what the error is right there. Pages 8, 10, and 12 printed twice, effect story. So that's pretty cool to have slabbed and acknowledged as such. Hey, Comics and Death Metal, what's up, man? I think Comics and Death Metal was the raffle winner, right? Of that Bagley signature. Oh man, I'm super happy this came back 9.8. See, I kind of glanced at the results online, but I sort of forgot which books. I didn't really digest it, what I had to look forward to. And this one, I might hold on to, you guys. It's the Ice Cream Man 20 cover B, Dr. Seuss in a 9.8. I searched for this for a while. I remember, I was just sort of starting out with the sort of FOC ordering game with my local comic shop at the time, around the time of this coming out, starting to order in more quantity and stuff. Nice. Death Metal. Yeah, Death Metal won the 3,000 subscriber giveaway on Instagram. Shout out to Death Metal. Thanks for tuning in, man. Good to see you again. I'm glad you're still enjoying the book. So this book, when this book came out, I spec'd on it. I knew it was going to be hot. Okay. This is before Ice Cream Man was really heating up to the extent that it has. I feel that this book really triggered that. It was right around the time that everybody became crazy about Ice Cream Man, and it was partly because of this book. And I think it had to do also with the fact that it was heavily allocated. Okay, because I ordered 10 copies of this, and I believe I got 2 from my comic shop. And my comic shop at that time, they're like super honest people. They always hook me up with stuff. I don't think that they were doing anything greedy. They give me hot books all the time that they could be, they basically don't sell on YouTube. They don't sell on eBay. If that tells you anything. So they're all about letting it go to their subscribers and whatnot. Anyway, I only got 2 out of the 10 I ordered of this. I sold them both the week that they came out because they were immediately like $20. And usually as a seller, rule of thumb is if something is, tripled or quadrupled in value on the day of release, it's probably, not a bad win to sell it, unless it has like a real long-term future key value. Like I held back some of those Red X books, Future State 1, and I held back, certain first appearances, or I've held back a few copies of High Republic 1 and stuff like that. I'll hold some, especially if I have multiples. I'll sell like 75% of them and hold the rest. This is one I only had 2 and they were really wanted and I could get $20 for them or whatever. I sold them and then I was like, damn, I want that back. And then it took me a while to find a copy that I thought was 9.8 worthy, because it's a tough back cover. It's all ink. You know what I mean? It's all one solid cover color, which is part of why I love it. Just this beautiful blue back. I'm sorry the lighting's so bad. It's hard to see, but I just love this book. And it's pretty rare in the 9.8. I'm pretty sure it's hard to get a 9.8 in that one too. So I'm going to hold that for a while. Department of Truth 2, another one that I am super happy came back 9.8. This is the QAnon variant. 1 in 25 on Department of Truth 2. Super low print, super hard to get in high grade. Controversial cover, immediately very collectible. And I think that this is going to fetch a good price. So I'll be looking for a good price on this, but I might put it up as a claim at like sort of what I think is fair, but I'm not looking to give it away. Let's put it that way. All right, here is a Once and Future 13. This is just kind of, really cool cover. I probably won't sell this anytime soon because Once and Future still has a lot of road ahead of it. I think it's not super hot right now, but it's a boom property. Announcement could come at any time. And this is just a dope virgin cover, like a 1 per store of 1 per store edition on Once and Future 13. That's just fucking badass. So any like badass virgin cover that's like limited or 1 per store of a series that I like or a series that's hot, I'll think about grading it for sure. Let me check the chat. I dig Doomsday Clock. I'm just gonna. Do you guys hate Doomsday Clock? It's so funny. Alex, have no idea. Have not read it. I read Doomsday Clock when I brush my teeth. I even bought my mama a copy of Doomsday Clock. I love it. Mega Man brings nostalgia. I'm just catching up here, guys. Sorry. Doomsday Clock is the worst graphic novel of all time. Shots fired. So that makes that one even more rare. The error. Yeah. So Alan, the error on that Canto. So specifically for that issue, that error was actually across that. Whenever there's an error, there are different circumstances around it, right? Like, and by the way, I have 4 more books left, so hang with me. I've just got 4 left to reveal. Errors happen for different reasons and in different ways. Like in this particular case, my understanding was the errors affected all of the incentive ratio copies as well as all of the store exclusive copies. None of the main runs. So that's kind of unique. It's like, I don't know. Usually it's not like all or nothing. So it's not super rare. But what they did do is recall those books and probably didn't get many back. But then they reissued all of those books in the clean, corrected version. So, for all of those store exclusives and ratios of that particular title, there's like, probably just as many error copies as there are regular copies. But I remember when it came out, we really didn't know. You really didn't know like what to make of it, like how many there were out there. There was no information about it. Like they kind of dropped the ball in terms of like disclosing what had happened. IDW did. They weren't very transparent about it. It took a while to figure out like how many are there that are error and what's going on here, and so it's kind of confusing. But I just think it's cool whenever an error is acknowledged by CGC. It's a good thing because it makes it more collectible. Let's see. I don't see long-term value in Ice Cream Man. I see long-term value in it. I just think it's probably... I think it's a little bit buzzy right now and people might not care about it as much in the future. Whereas something like Something's Killing the Children, I think could be like the next Walking Dead, where it's like, you know, issue 1 just keeps going up and up and up and up, and there get to be more and more and more and more fans. You know what I mean? Like that's got like a really long you know, horizon to it investment wise, whereas like Ice Cream Man, it's a little hard to see like, okay, maybe they make a show about it, but what's the broad appeal of that show going to look like? I just don't see it as, you know, quite as like fire hot long term as something like Something Is Killing the Children, for example. But I do think because of its low print run and sort of niche appeal, it'll maintain some value. I just don't know if it's going to keep going up and up and up and up. You know what I mean? All right, let's keep going, guys. So speaking of Something Is Killing the Children, number 12, the Momoko Virgin Incentive in the 9.8. Peach Momoko cover variant edition. Can't go wrong with that. Like I said in the video I already recorded about how to decide what books to send in to CGC, usually if it meets one of the following criteria, I'll think about submitting it. Virgin, ratio or low print, key book. If it, you know, or like hot series, you know, like if it hits like maybe 2 or more of those categories, it's a good contender. Here's just a straight up, you know, We Only Find Them When They're Dead, number 1, 9.8. This is a series I don't believe in that much, but I had a lot of copies of it. That's the other criteria, is just, is it a 9.8? You know, that's the other criteria, is like, how sure are you that it could get a 9.8? Sometimes, you know, I just collect, I make a section in my divided bin that just collects like all the books that are like sure thing 9.8s, you know what I mean? And then I can pick and choose from there which ones I want. But the first criteria is the grade, obviously. So this is just, you know, an available book in a 9.8 that if I'm trying to fill out a 25 book submission, I'm like, yeah, I'll throw this in there. You know what I mean? It'll help me round out the 25 books. Okay, last 2 books. These ones are maybe not like the most exciting to end on. This one's really cool though. Power Rangers Draken New Dawn number 1. Again, Virgin cover. So it's got the Draken cover by Yoon. It's 1 per store, so it's limited. And it's Virgin. It's a number 1. I'm going to slab it. I'm going to slab it all day long. Smedgen wants the Momokos. Nice. Might be able to help you with that, my friend. And last, and perhaps least, depending on how you feel about this book, X-Men 12. First cover appearance of High Summoner. You know, cool cover. I just don't think it has a ton of value right now. I think when it first came out, it was, you know, a double or triple cover price release, because it's a hot, cool new cover and the first cover appearance of this character. I just don't know. I don't know if there's any real excitement about that character right now, but I guess we will see. That is the last of the books. So thank you guys for watching this unboxing. As it stands right now, I have a ton of other stuff with CGC. I'll show you guys right now. Or maybe, is it bad for me to share the screen security-wise? Do I have any personal info on here? I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna share the screen so you guys can see all that's with CGC right now for future videos to look forward to. Okay, let's see. Share screen. Hey, Alexander, can you do me a favor and not talk about Doomsday Clock anymore, because it's not related to the video? And if you do continue to talk about Doomsday Clock, I'm going to block you. Okay? Because, yeah, it's not relevant to the video. I encourage all kinds of chatting if it's sincere with, you know, other members. But that's just not relevant for right now. But thank you for being active in the chat. Mela says, hey, Matty, do you think Signature Series is worth it? This is a great question that I struggle with myself a lot. And I'm not sure the answer to it. I think, I think that financially, it usually turns out to be worth it. I think if you're looking to resell, you'll at least make back the money that you invested in it usually, especially if it gets that 9.8. I think if it doesn't get the 9.8, depending on the book, it might not be as worth it. So it's a little bit of a gamble there. So in terms of being worth it, I assume you're talking about like monetarily, right? In terms of value, because otherwise, if you're just a big fan, then it's worth it if you want to pay for it. It's not cheap regardless. But just as an example, to give you an idea of some financial numbers, with my Ghost Spider 2 1 in 25 Momoko that I acquired from a friend, I paid about $300 for it. It looked like a 9.8 contender, but I wasn't sure. It could have gone either way, 9.6 or 9.8, and I did not press my own books back then, so I was going to rely on CCS to press it, meaning CGC's proprietary grading company. Eastman and early TNT. I mean, I'm struggling with that too. I think I'm going to pass on it, honestly, because, Mellow, like, you can think of it in terms of overhead, like in terms of investment. Like, I have so much stuff with CGC right now. Let me show you. I'm going to share this tab. I have so much stuff with CGC right now. I'm submitting on a heavy basis that, it's just a lot of investment, a lot of overhead, that money tied up in it, and when you add signature series, private signings and stuff to that, it just adds to your overhead. You're paying another $75 a signature, or sometimes more if you're doing a sketch or a remark or whatever. So that's one way to think about it. It's just like, can you afford the outlay of cash? And I think in talking about it right now, I'm sort of realizing, like, nah, can't really afford it. I mean, I would love to have Eastman's signature on some of my Turtles keys I'm going to send in, but for me personally, different people have different preferences and philosophies about it. Some people are like, yeah, Captain America is way more expensive. Exactly. People have different philosophies and preferences. Like, some people are like, gold label all day, it's always worth it. They just want to get as many things signed as possible. And, for me, it's more like a case by case. Like, if I have the extra funds, maybe so anyway, the Ghost Spider situation, I did get it signed by Peach. I got it pressed with CCS. It did end up getting a 9.8. So I really lucked out there. Even looking back at the copy, I was sort of like, wow, I really, I dodged a bullet here, because all the expenses of that, like sending it to Japan, the signing costs like $125, maybe $150 to get it there and back and all that stuff. So let's say it cost $125, say, then I'm in $425 on the book, right? And I ended up getting about $11.50 in trade value for it. Now, if it had been a blue label, I would have been in, maybe $3.50 on the book, and maybe got back. Sorry, and maybe got back. I don't know what it goes for blue label. Maybe $800-900. So it's like that extra $150 I put into the signing, $125 or whatever. It probably netted me another, I don't know, $100 on top of what I would have gotten otherwise. You know what I mean? So it's like, it maximizes your potential earning on it, if everything goes right. But it's basically just another element of risk and outlay of cash. That's one way to think about it. Because 9.8s aren't guaranteed, and things can go wrong, all that stuff. That's all my thoughts about it. And I'm thinking it out because I'm still thinking about it for myself. I think I'm going to pass on the Eastman, partly because I think the deadline is like Monday in like 4 days, and I would have to like overnight a bunch of shit, and it's just like expenses I don't really want to do. And I'm also not sure about the grades those books are going to get. I'll show you. I have, I'm sending, Where are these Eastman books? Yeah, these are the 2 books I would send for Eastman. Raphael #1 second print, and Turtles 7 first print, first color Turtles. I think Eastman's a good candidate, but I do think he signs the shit out of some books. Like he does a lot of like non-signature series sign stuff. And it's like with these books, they're not guaranteed 9/8s, not even guaranteed 9/6s, you know? And I don't know. I like these books I'd rather keep in the PC and not spend as much money on them. You know what I mean? Like not invest in making them these like exquisite collectibles that are like even more expensive, and instead just like have it back in whatever grade they come in a blue label. Like that's kind of my feeling on it. Something like the Ghost Spider, I was thinking like I love it, I want to keep it, but I kind of want to take a shot at making this, you know, like street level hero guys call it, like the exquisite collection. Like I want to make this an exquisite collectible. That's what I think of when I think of like gold label. You got a really rare book, really wanted, 9/8 candidate, get it signed, and you're just like maxing that shit out. Like you're just like blowing the value of it through the roof. That's a good time to think about signing when you've got just like a home run, like Ghost Spider 2. You like someone's gonna want that baby in a 9/8 signed, you know. But don't just spend money on any old book getting signed, especially if you don't think it's going to come back 9/8 in a modern book. That's what I have to say about that for now. But then I'm still thinking about like Ramos. Ramos is coming up. And I've got this book. And I have a little more time to think about this. The Strange Academy 1 Ramos I'm thinking about sending in. Now, since I started submitting stuff for some of friends of the channel, like I can, you know, if they want to send some stuff into Ramos, maybe I'll slip this one in and see how we do, you know. That's, you know, one way that it might tip the scales for me to get it signed. But I'm not totally sure about this 9/8 potential on this, so I just still got to think about it. So that is that's all my thoughts on that. Thanks for, sorry it's so rambling. Yeah, you do see a signature everywhere, right? And you did it with your New Mutants 98 and got a 9/8 and Stan's signature. God damn. Yeah, no, that is that's really maximizing that book. That's really cool. It's really cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, in general, there's so many different thoughts and opinions about signature series stuff. It's like there's a whole, you know, group of collectors that feel that you are ruining the book by having it signed, ruining the book, you know. Particularly if you don't get it signed and authentic, you know, and witnessed, because then, you know, CGC is basically going to take that book that got signed and not witnessed by them and give it a green label, because they're like, there's writing on this book. We don't know where this writing came from. I've never seen this writing before. We can't tell you if that's a real signature or not. They don't even want to throw their hat in the ring in terms of signature authentication like CBCS does. So, I mean, and even there are many people who think it's ruining the book, even with authentication or verification, that you're just, you know, you're ruining a collectible that could otherwise be perfect. You know, it's just different philosophies on it. So, and there's certainly collectors that prefer gold label versus blue, or blue label versus gold. I feel personally, like currently I don't own any gold label, except the only gold label I have is a PC book that I have just for sentimental reasons, because I'm a fan of Reggie Collects and his channel, and this is his first store exclusive signed by Reggie in red marker. That's a cool gold label. That's for sentimental personal reasons. You know what I mean? And maybe an investment purchase if, you know, Reggie continues to grow to like 100,000 subscribers, and maybe this thing's going to blow up. So, you know, maybe there's a little bit of that, but that's a unique case. You know, this is a content creator that I like. And, you know, that's a spec play, you guys, by the way. All these content creators on YouTube, if you like them, like Reggie, Bueller, Billy, specifically Reggie Collects, Comics with Bueller, and Economics and Comics, just to name a few. who have all done store exclusives now. Their store exclusives, their first store exclusives, might be, interesting holds for the future, because that's a unique, collectible that never existed before. Content creators are a huge part of this community, and I certainly listen to them all the damn time. So that's just a side note that you might want to grab them for just if you're a fan of their channels, and also just maybe in the future they'll be wanted, and they're certainly limited. There's certainly fewer of them than there are fans of those channels. So that'll do it, guys. That'll do it for me. I've got to make a little round trip to pick up some books for tonight. But should I do a recap? No, I'm not going to recap the CGC because you guys have already seen them. And if you're watching on the replay, you can just go back to that part of the video. But I will show you a couple of auction books for tonight that I have ready. First female Ghost Rider. Black Panther 7 hip hop variant. First Sleeper second printing. I've got some Star Wars High Republic #1. I've got some various Star Wars Republic stuff. I have a Luke negative variant. Eternals #5. Turtles 110 and the 1 in 10. Middle West #1. Some more Star Wars run stuff. Knights of the Old Republic. Here's a first appearance of Kylo Ren, apparently, and Rey and Finn. Lots of Star Wars Republic stuff. And NYX. I'll preview this stuff on IG later. I just wanted to show you guys just so you can see some stuff to look forward to. Cosmic Carnage. And this is just a portion of it, you guys. This is just what I have from one consigner friend, Spidey $2.99 newsstand. The Virgin 1500 printed signed Delato Spider-Man 2 #1. That's a big one. And Silver Surfer Black #5, the Scon variant. Thanks, Alan. Take care, man. I think you probably said that like a minute ago, but cool. Later, Alan. Thank you for watching, everybody. You got a Spider-Man special edition here. And what else? Yeah, that'll do it for right now. But see you guys tonight on IG, Comic Sales. Auction starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, stay safe, guys. Have a good day. And I'll see you in a few short hours. Take care, guys.